Hello again folks, finally got the t-shirt. If you like the t-shirt, if you want to rub the nose of any snooty Welsh nationalists and anti-English bigots in Wales, then the link is down below. My name's on the top, you can blame me, and you can tell Yes Cymru and the Welsh Assembly, no, you can't run the country, we don't want it to get independence because you simply can't do it. And you are lying to the people because you can't have independence and then be a member of the EU, which is what these bigots want. These Celtic supremacists, I like to call them. That's what they want. They want control of the country, and they will screw the country right up. They really will. Can you imagine people like Plaid Cymru Plank Leanne Wood running the country, being part of government, looking down her nose on you, calling you a racist, a Nazi, simply because you have the wrong opinion? Is that the kind of future you want for Wales? They couldn't control COVID, the lockdown, the draconian measures in supermarkets, which dreadful floppy-faced First Minister Mark Drakeford imposed on the country, where he restricted things like baby clothes, nappies, essentials, yet you can go and buy alcohol and cigarettes, which is fucking daft. These people live on another planet. They told you they didn't want pubs serving drinks, alcohol banned effectively, and yet members of the Assembly went and had a drink in their own bar. How disgusting is that? That's the future of Welsh independence. They wanted to be a sanctuary nation. How can they afford to be a sanctuary nation? They complain as it is that Westminster doesn't give them enough money, which they then squander. They can't do it, folks. They really can't do it. So how the hell can they afford another couple of thousand Afghan refugees when they don't have the money for it? They're complaining they're poor. They don't get enough money from Westminster, yet they want more people from everywhere because they want to show that they're not racist, they're not bigots, when in fact they are. They are completely shitting on the normal poor people of Wales. When they do eventually join the European Union, the empire in Brussels, and God forbid that happens, what do you think is going to happen to the poor there? Exactly. They'll be fine. The socialists at the top of the tree, the Welsh Assembly, the Welsh rich, the leftists, the Labour, Lib Dems, Plaid Cymru bigots, they'll be fine because they've got money. But the poor people on benefits, tough shit. And it gets worse, folks, because the snooty liberal, socialist, Welsh nationalists who are infesting the institutions in Wales, universities, and now the Arts Council of Wales has slammed their own language as racist. And they've come up with this because their own bigoted policies against non-Welsh speakers and English people from getting a job in the institutions has backfired. Now, according to them, and they got a £51,000 taxpayer-funded cash to investigate this and came up with the conclusion that the Welsh language and the institutions that promote Welsh language is racist and it promotes a white supremacist ideology. God. And the reason this has all happened is because not enough black people, if any, which are Welsh speakers, apply for jobs in its institutions, the universities, the Welsh Arts Council, which came up with this crap. So why do you think they've done this? It's not like Wales has a huge population of black and ethnic people who are fluent Welsh speakers, therefore they need to have a job in the Welsh Arts Council. Now, this isn't a racist statement, it's not a discriminatory statement, it is fact that the number of black Welsh speakers are in the absolute minority. But to even head down this road, something must have happened, something must have triggered it. Did some English-speaking black Welsh person apply for a job as a curator in the Welsh Arts Council in a museum somewhere? They were then turned away or told they can't have a job because they don't speak Welsh. And did they then go and complain for not getting the job because it was discriminatory? Or are the people, these snooty idiots at the top of the Welsh Arts Council, that self-loathing that they couldn't find anything else to blame racism on, so they blamed themselves? And the Welsh language itself isn't racist. Anyone can learn it. Any language, any nationality, any foreigner, any colour, creed, whatever. There's nothing stopping anyone from learning the Welsh language, but it is a white culture language. It's a Western language. The Welsh are predominantly or exclusively a white Celtic nation. It's their own thing. It's our own thing. But it doesn't mean that by speaking it, we are racist. Of course, we're not. It's just a language, and that's that. Now, remember I told you about a guy called Yuri Bezmenov, who was a Soviet defector. There are many videos on him talking about a foreign military complex which is weakening countries in the West in order to, God knows what, but some sort of takeover, whatever the guy is suggesting. Make of his videos what you will, folks, okay? But it's pretty ominous and you can see the signs. And the most obvious tactic used by whoever's doing this is to make the people loathe themselves, and that's happening all over the place, not just in Wales, but pretty much everywhere. You've got Marxist leftists, Scotland, England, Wales, everywhere. They hate their own skin colour, their own culture, their own people, their own country, their own flag, their own culture, and it's spreading like a cancer, folks. So they're making people hate themselves and hate each other. It's a divisive tactic designed to spread division. It's to divide people, to make us hate not only ourselves, but other people as well. Now, considering Wales is a small country with a marginalised language, the Welsh speakers are pretty low in numbers, including myself. I'm a fluent Welsh speaker since I was birthed, whatever. I didn't speak English till I was about 6 or 7, but still. The Welsh population are the minority here in the United Kingdom. The Welsh language is the least spoken. It's also the oldest language in Europe. Now, I would think, having some common sense about me, that introducing a culture into a country like that through the insane policy of making your country a sanctuary nation would indeed have a detrimental effect on that culture, on the people, on the language. Why on earth hasn't Cymdeithas y Iaith, a pro-Welsh language organisation, said anything? Why haven't they stood up? Why haven't they voiced their concerns? I'll tell you why. There are Marxists, there are anti-Western, anti-British Marxists, and I'd say because of this, anti-Welsh Marxists within those organisations at the top tier of Welsh society, which are pushing this narrative. And again, it'll be the poor people of Wales who will suffer. And like I said earlier, it's okay for the rich people of Wales. You'll have many Welsh wealthy celebrities pushing for this Welsh independence nonsense, because they know when they get independence, they'll join the EU. And when they join the EU, you do as the Europeans say, okay? You do as Brussels says. Do you think politicians, socialist student politics proprietors like Leanne Wood and the rest of them would dare go against Brussels? Do you think she would stick up for her own country, her own language? She hardly speaks Welsh. No, she won't. She wouldn't give a flying fuck, ladies and gentlemen. And if you read the Little Red Book of Welsh Independence, you can see there's absolutely nothing there about benefits for poor people, people without work. There's no net, no nothing. There's nothing whatsoever to help them out. Because once you're poor, you're on your own. You're on your own. Society is judged by how you treat your poor. And I'm telling you now, these rich leftists, these Marxists, these snooty Welsh nationalists at the top tier of Welsh society, they won't give a flying fig about the Welsh poor. I mean, look at the NHS, the state of the NHS in Wales. The difference between the NHS in Scotland and Wales and England is that the NHS in Scotland and Wales is run by the Scottish and Welsh governments. And I live in England. I have friends and family in Wales who tell me on a regular basis what happens during their time, what's in the news with Welsh NHS and Scottish NHS, and they're completely making a hash brown of it. So there we go, Welsh institutions, universities, the Welsh Arts Council, the Welsh Assembly. The Welsh Assembly needs to go. It's not doing anything for the Welsh people, it really isn't. These people are on £70,000 a year, folks. These are the same people who told pubs not to sell alcohol while they had a cheeky drink in the Welsh Assembly bar, ladies and gentlemen. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for democracy. If there was a referendum now in Wales and the Welsh voted to leave, that must be respected. But beware, as I've just shown you with the Welsh Council of Wales, the people on the top tier of Welsh society, this is how they treat their language, and that's how they treat their language, which is apparently disappearing. Then this is how they treat their people, and this will be the future of Wales. So the wording is on the wall. Whether you decide to read it or not is completely up to you. Anyway, that's my point of view, that's my video. Again, if you fancy this t-shirt, if you want to piss off a Welsh nationalist, a snooty, bigoted Welsh nationalist who doesn't know his arse from his elbow, then the link is down below. Click on the link, it'll take you to a website, you can get this t-shirt. Alright, so let's swamp the Yes Cymru t-shirts with no Cymru t-shirts. And also, if you want to support my channel, then you can always buy me a beer. The reason I'm asking you to buy me a beer, it's not mandatory, but I'm demonetized because I hate speech, because I do stuff like this and they don't like it. And my content is harmful, apparently, very harmful. So I'm not allowed to make money out of my own work, yet YouTube still plays adverts on my videos and they can make money from it. Doesn't make sense, doesn't it? So by buying me a beer, you can bypass the hipsters in California, Silicon Valley, YouTube and Google, and the money goes straight to my PayPal. So if you support free speech, if you like what I do, if I make you giggle, whatever, and you just want to support my channel, whatever you want to do, then please click the link below and buy me a beer. Right, that's it. I'm off. I'm going to wear this while I'm out tonight, see what reaction I get. I may even film it. And until my next videos, comment, share, subscribe, and Roger Trout.